What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate you guys clicking in. My name is Patty Lifts, a WNBF pro men's physique competitor, and today I want to go over how I grew my arms 5 inches. So I used to be so skinny, I literally was like a toothpick in high school, weighing 126 pounds at 5'11", and you guys know how skinny that is. Literally, my forearm bone was the same size as my bicep and tricep. So here are 5 things that I did to help grow my arms by 5 inches. But before we get into the video, please subscribe. And you know what, just give me a chance, because if you don't like me, you can unsubscribe later, and I promise you, I'm gonna help you guys out. So hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and let's get into today's video. So the first tip I wanna focus on is focus on your triceps. Your triceps are actually 66% of your arm, where I know a lot of people, they jump into an arm day, they just focus on their biceps. Now, if you see your bicep, you know, those are the visual, like sexy muscles that people wanna work out. But if you wanna fill out your t-shirt, if you wanna look like you have massive arms, I'm telling you, tricep is where to go. So there's a couple ways to do this. Now, the first way is to start off with tricep exercises during your workout versus starting off with bicep, because you're gonna have the most energy at the starting of your workout. Next is that prioritize more tricep exercises than your bicep exercises to make sure more volume is going towards your triceps than biceps. And lastly, make sure you're performing big, heavy compound movements with your triceps. You're not just doing overhead extensions or getting a nice pump on press downs. Make sure you guys are doing the big movements like the close grip bench press to really target your triceps. Now, moving on to tip number 2, I mentioned it in tip number 1, and it's focus on heavy compound movements. And for triceps, the close grip bench press is such an amazing movement because you can continue to progressive overload, versus if you're just doing a dumbbell kickback, you know, you won't be able to use much weight. So it's gonna be harder to progressive overload in that movement. And then for biceps, you know, one of the ones I like to recommend is the barbell curl, and honestly, try and load that as much as you can, because the heavier you go, the more muscle fibers you're gonna be able to activate. Those deep, fast twitch muscle fibers when you provide yourself that heavy stimulus. So personally, I don't like the barbell curl because naturally, if I put my arm straight out, my wrists is not naturally able to go straight up and down. So the easy bar curl is the one that I like to focus on. So make sure when you are hitting those big movements, you are focusing on progression each week. So are you gonna be upping the weight? Are you gonna be adding reps to the movement? You want to make sure progression is happening during these heavy compound movements. Now, also to add on to this, when you are doing your accessory or supplemental movements, such as your press downs or the preacher curl machine, you still want to continue to progressive overload. And if you're hitting, let's say 100 pounds on the bicep curl machine, put it up to 110. Try and add those reps. I really want to emphasize this because too many guys go into the gym. It's Friday night, they're about to go to the club, they're gonna go hit a party, and they're just trying to get that pump. But you can get that pump while you are going heavy, while you are trying to progressive tension overload and make more progress. Because if you're just going in there, getting a pump, you're gonna be leaving some gains on the table. So this leads me to tip number 3 on how I grew my arms, and it's focusing on the burnout too much versus the overload. So when I first started doing arms, I just thought that getting the pump, just doing a lot of reps, doing so many exercises was the way to go. Now, I could really feel the burn, but you can also feel the burn doing a marathon run. You know, if you're running 5-10 miles, you're gonna feel the burn in your legs. Is that really gonna induce muscle hypertrophy? I would say there are better ways to do it. So the same concept goes for your arms. Don't just go into the gym and get a pump. Don't focus on just getting a burn. You wanna focus on that overload. You wanna focus on stimulating those deep, fast twitch fibers, which are the bigger muscle fibers in your arm, because when you're growing those specific fibers, you'll actually see the physical growth. Now, since mechanical tension is the #1 mechanism for muscle hypertrophy, you want to focus on the volume and more specifically the overload. So focus on the overload more than you focus on the burnout, because more times than not, I see a lot of gym bros go into the gym and they just focus on burning out. Yes, you're gonna have a good pump. Yes, you're gonna feel a burn, but is it optimized towards bodybuilding and muscle growth? So one of the biggest steps that helped me elevate my game with growing all over, not just my arms, was focusing on other compound movements that wasn't just for my triceps or just for my biceps. So instead of just close grip bench press, you're gonna activate a lot of your muscles during the bench press. So you're gonna hit your shoulders and you're gonna hit your triceps. So when you're hitting movements like the barbell row or the lat pull down, you're gonna be activating your lats, but you're also gonna be activating your biceps as well. So when you are hitting, your chest and your back and your shoulders, you wanna hit heavy compound movements, which are movements that activate more than one muscle group to help elevate your arms and your triceps. So if you're going to the gym, and I remember all the basketball players used to walk into the gym, they used to do their calf raises because they help them jump, or they go in there and just hit the pec deck to grow their chest, but that's not gonna really help elevate overall growth. Now, if they went on to the bench press and they're going very heavy on bench press, focusing on those deep muscle fibers, focusing on overload, you're gonna get enough stimulus, not just to only improve your chest, but you're also going to be able to improve your triceps as well. So don't sleep on compound movements for your other body parts, because those supplemental exercises for your triceps and biceps are gonna make a huge difference, because that volume still counts towards your biceps and triceps when you are hitting a chest press or when you are hitting a pull-up. So don't sleep on those. Make sure you're hitting compound movements for all your other body parts as well. The last thing I'm talking about, I'm rewinding all the way back when I first started. I used to hit the bro split. So I used to only hit everything once a week. There's gonna be a lot of arguing around this topic, but just think about it. If you focus on a certain muscle group multiple times a week, you are gonna get more growth. So by focusing on your arms 2 to 3 times per week, you're gonna be able to accumulate more volume. You're gonna be able to hit them more often and provide them more stimulus over the week than you are in one single session. Now, the good thing about that is if you have 2 big arm days and you are hitting your chest and you are hitting your back on different days, you can be hitting them up to 4 times a week. So instead of just that one big arm day, maybe have a chest and triceps day, have a back and biceps day, and maybe have a lighter another arm day, and that's a 4-day activation for your arms. So having a more frequent split for hitting your arms will help grow, and it really helped accelerate my growth, because man, I honestly used to wear 3 t-shirts to school in high school because I was so embarrassed about how skinny I was, and my arms was one of the things I was most insecure about. So make sure you guys implement these 5 tips. Don't sleep on them. If you implement them and they don't work, come find me. I'll let you know my address in the comments. Just tell me in a month if it doesn't work, and I got you. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you checking in. If you've been in the video this long, please join Team Lifts, subscribe. I'm hook you up with more amazing content and help you guys accelerate your growth so you guys can take shortcuts and not look like a pencil after 10 years of working out. But other than that, appreciate you guys checking in, and see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, and if you guys want some supplements to help elevate your game, use code Patty for 20% off.